Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Lee, and aka Kilo Loco from kiloloco.com. And today I just wanted to go over screen layouts. We're going to be doing this programmatically. Um, Today we're going to be using Xcode 8.2.1 and Swift 3. And as you can see, I have selected this to be a beginner level tutorial. All you really need to do is know the language basics and just know how to access different properties from objects, and that's all you really need to know. And after that, you can just move forward and do all this stuff yourself. I wanted to keep it really light and really easy, or at least the topic really light and really easy, since yesterday I did something a little bit more complex, which was multi-part form data request through URL session, and that was just mentally draining. So I wanted to go with something a little bit lightweight this time. So let's go ahead and start off with making a project. Go ahead and do single view application, and we'll just call this layout programmatically. Too many L's. And then, alright, where do we want to save this? Desktop. Do it in my learning file, because y'all be learning it up. Alright, so first things first, I want to at least have some type of guideline of what we're going to be making, so that you can see that it's just you can do this both ways in storyboards and also programmatically. So let's just set up a quick storyboard right here, and we'll also have our programmatic one right here, so you can kind of see the differences. Storyboards just makes things a whole lot easier. I mean, if you can use storyboards, but if you have to do things programmatically, then I'm going to show you how to do that. So first off, let's just do some type of image, or no, do I ever want to? You know what? Let's do text field, because we'll just do a login and a login type thing. Come on. Trackpad is not good for this type of stuff. Alright, we're going to do something like that. And I'm not going to be, I mean, maybe we might style it a little bit, but I don't think I really want to focus on styling too crazy. I just want to show you how to add things. Show you that it can be done. Let's just make our button background color. Where did it go? Background color. We'll just do it this nice purple. I'm a real fan of purple. And then text color. Let's just do white. We'll do white. Good enough. Let's just say login, something like that. And then we don't want to do text, we want to do placeholders, so that's going to usually be something like email, right? And then password. And you know what? I would put it in a navigation bar, but things get kind of weird when you do it navigation bars programmatically, and I don't want to go that in depth with it. I'll do another tutorial where I'm explaining how to do like segues and different navigations and stuff like that programmatically, but not today. 64, because up here is 20, and then the typical navigation bar is usually about 44, so it comes out to a total of 64. That's why you want to do it that color. And then we'll just do this another color, do it this nice light purple. All right, and then we need some type of image. Let's throw an image in there, UI image. And some of this stuff you do have to do programmatically anyway, like even if, like you can't do everything in storyboards, like you can get it to the point to where you can modify things by making all the objects like IB designable and stuff like that. But it's still, you still have to do all that stuff programmatically. It's not like built in, it's not cooked into the system. So let's just say we're gonna do this, and then let's just call this welcome or something. I don't know, guys, something like that. Right, and then let's just get a crap, I don't have a test image. Let's find one. Is it, there we are. Yeah, sure, whatever. I can't. Here we go. And then delete. Move reference, it's still there. Alright, so sorry, I kind of just dropped out. I forgot that I have to like narrate what I'm doing. I can't just keep going. Alright, yeah, obviously make it look a little bit better than that, but we're not gonna go that far today. And then, you know what, it looks kind of stretched, or maybe that's just my head. Scale to fill, we want to do aspect fill, or aspect fill. Just do that one. Alrighty, that's usually what you got. Something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be pretty. Something like this. This is usually how something looks like when you're trying to log in, right? Something like that. Alright, so let's just test it. We want to make sure that everything, oh, you know what? No constraints were added in the making of this video. So let's go ahead and add those constraints, or else everything's going to be all weird. Height is there. We're going to do bottom is going to be 8. Width is going to be that. We also want to align it horizontally. There we go. This will be 54 from the top. Width and height can stay the same. We also want to align this horizontally, so let's go ahead and add those constraints. This and this, as a matter of fact, can both have these. I don't know why I did it this way, because I still have to set the top constraint for both of them. So let's go ahead and set the top constraint here, and then top constraint here. I'm not going to be making everything pixel perfect for the replica, but I want to show you that I could get it pretty dang close. And then height and width is fine, and once again align horizontally. Alright, so since we're going to be running this on an SE and this is a 6, it's going to be looking a little bit different. Button's going to be a whole lot closer to the bottom, but it should work and it should be fine. It's really awesome, in my personal opinion, what you can do with storyboards. I mean, look at this. No code added. You don't even have to be like a programmer to get this far. Do something like this. And you can make it look real pretty too. Look at that. That's nice. Alright. So now programmatically, right? So this is our view control. And I'm going to make another one. New file. This is going to be a Cocoa Touch class, right? And it's going to be of type view controller, right? Right. Say it with me, guys. Right. So we'll just do this one, programmatically VC. Yeah. Call it whatever you want. I'm not sure if that was clear. You could call it literally whatever you want. I'm just going to call mine that. It'll autofill. Don't need any of this stuff. I'll put all my code right here in the view controller. This is something that you never want to do. This is for demonstration purposes only. Now I'm thinking, should I do it the right way so that you guys learn the right way? Yeah, I'll probably do it the right way. Anyway, let me just do it like this. So set UI, right? So you're gonna want to set the UI, and then we want to make sure that we call this set UI. Just to keep a couple of things out of our view controller, but essentially all this code is going to be living in the view controller. In case you didn't really understand that, anything that you put in here is going to live in here. So this is still the wrong way to do it. I mean, you do have to do this part, but like doing all the modifications to everything is not the right way to do it. So I'm going to get everything laid out first, and then I'll go back and change a few things around to make things look a little bit nicer. That doesn't really make sense right now, but makes sense in my head. So let me just go through the process of showing you what I'm going to do. All right, so let's just start from the top and work our way down. So first thing that we have is the UIView. All right, so we're going to let view, or no, we can't do view because the view controller actually has a view. Like you can access the view, see right here. So you don't want to call it view. So let nav view, like navigation view, equal UIView. We're going to do it like that. Then we're going to go to our nav view and we're going to access the frame property, right? And from here we have to make CG rect because the frame is of type CG rect, and I'll show you that real quick. But let me finish this. You could choose any of these. It's just saying that you can essentially pass in any of these types of numbers, and all of them will work. So I'm going to be passing in integers, but if I were to pass in float or double, it'd still work. Even if I were to pass in a float right here, even though it's an integer, it would just auto correct itself to. It would just know that it's going to be using one of these functions, since the functions it is the initializer essentially is just overloaded pretty much. Anyway, we're going to do 0 0, right, because it was at the top left in the top left corner that it starts. So it starts from here, and that's 0 0. And then we want to access the entire width of our phone. We don't know exactly how long it is. We could just put 500 and go like all the way out here, but that's not the right way to do it. So we actually have to access the width of our phone. So let's do that. You let screen size equal UI device dot what was it, dot UI device. As a matter of fact, I actually forgot what it was. UI application. See, even I get stuck on some of these things, guys. I forgot what it was because I don't do this very often. I said it, so let's just find it on Google. Bam, this is how you do things. You're just going to go to Google, you're going to type in something, go to Stack Overflow and figure it out. So we want to do device screen size in Swift. All right, how to get width and height. What was it? UI main screen, that's what it was. Main screen bounds, that's what it was. So it was screen, not device. So screen dot main dot bounds, and then what we'll do is screen size dot width, screen size dot height. All right, so like I said, I was going to show you this. The frame, you have to make it a CG rect, right? Because you have to show where it's actually going to be. You have to tell, you pretty much have to tell the application where do you want this view to be at, right? So you have to create the CG rect, and you have to assign it its coordinates, its start coordinates, and it starts from the top left of whatever the object is. So we're going to do 0, 0, which is the top left of the actual view controller, or actual view, or the device screen. And then we said that we want to do it the screen size dot width. That's going to get our entire width. And then actually, I don't know why I did this. This was just autopilot programming. And then remember I said that the height that we had was 64. Remember, this is 64, so just going to make it 64 just like this one. All right, the next thing that we want to do is we want to set the color. All right, so as you can see, it's these colors, this color right here. So it's going to be, these numbers are out of, so just remember 227, because I'm going to go back to that. These numbers are out of 255. That's just kind of how hex colors work. Crap, I forgot. 227. I'm so bad right now. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pass in these numbers over 255, and that should give us the same color programmatically. Let me just go through and show you guys that. So nav view dot background color is going to be equal to a UI color dot init, and we're gonna pass in the red, the green, and the blue values, which red, green, blue, RGB, right? And the alpha, which is going to be the opacity, which is 100%, and since it has to be a float, we'll just pass in 1. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll do 126 over 255. We'll do 127 over 255. And then 227 over 255. And then the alpha is going to be 1. All right, and that's all we really have to do for a view, is just give it a rect, and then set its color. And from there, we just have to add it to our main view. So remember how I said that our view controller actually has a view? We want to make sure that it shows up the same, or that we actually add it there so that it shows up when we run our application. So view dot add subview, since this is actually a view. Anything that subclasses view, like buttons and text views, are also can be put in here. So we're gonna do that a little bit later, and you'll see that. But nav view, and then we're pretty much good. We just have to change the entry point in here. So just moving this arrow over here to say that this is going to be our initial view controller. And I don't want the view, I want the actual view controller, and say that this is my programmatically VC. Now when I run it, I should have nothing but that purple bar up there. See how long it's taken just to do the simplest thing when you could just be using storyboards? This is why you don't want to do it programmatically. But you do, because you're watching this. See? Bam. Bam, just like normal. All right, so next let's get this little label in here. It's gonna be a little bit less explaining since you know, this is essentially what you have to do with everything. So let welcome, we'll just call this we'll call it Nav Label, and this will be equal to a UI label, and we have to set the frame just like the view, also with the CG rect. And we're gonna do this one. We're actually gonna pass in I forgot, with Swift 3 you actually need all the argument names, so we're gonna do 0 0, even though that's not where it's going to be placed. I'm gonna show you exactly what's happening. And then the width is going to be let's just say 100 to make sure that we can fit the entire word in there. And then the height will be 35, just because why not. Actually, I'll do it 30 because it doesn't need to be that big. So now we need to set the nav label to the center of the navigation bar. So what we'll do is we'll do nav label dot center, and then we're actually going to center the X it's going to be equal to our nav view dot center dot X. So we're getting this, we're saying the nav label center, the X, the center X is going to be equal to the nav view center X. So that'll align it. But we didn't want to do the Y the same way because the Y, see how it's not centered? It's a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the height of this label minus the bottom, and that will put it towards the bottom. And let me show you that. There's a couple of better ways to do it to make it even more pixel perfect, but like I said, we're not doing pixel perfect today. We're just kind of we're just trying to get things going for you. What am I doing? Origin. So we have to access the frame dot origin dot y, and we're gonna set the y to the navigation view height dot frame dot height, right? So that would put it right below the navigation view. And then now we want to subtract our label's height to make sure that it goes up. So nav label dot frame dot height, and then now we have it in the right spot that we want it, but it doesn't have any text in it. So let's go ahead and set some text to it. Nav label dot text is going to be equal, and we'll just hard code this in here as welcome. And then we also have to specify that we want the color of the text to be a certain color, and ours was white. Nav label, because I believe by default the label's text color is black. So we're gonna just do dot white, right? And then there's another thing that we have to do is, because remember this is the width is 100, right? And the width to this one is probably something less. Oh, it's about the same. But notice that it's centered and it's not to the left, right? Like it's right in the center of the label. If I don't specify that I want it centered, it's going to be off to the left. Like I'm just going to be typing anything in there. It's going to be off to the left like this. See how email's to the left as opposed to in the center? It's going to be doing the same thing, so I have to specify that as well. So nav label dot text alignment is equal to dot center. All right, I think that's everything that we need to do to customize our label. So let's go ahead and add it. And this time we're not going to add it to the view. We actually want to add this label to the nav view, since that's what's going to be holding it. Like they're related to each other. So we want the label to actually be inside the nav view. We don't just want it to be shown on the screen. So what we'll do is we'll do the same thing as we'll add the sub view, but to the nav view. So we'll do nav view dot add sub view, and then we'll add in our nav label. And if we go ahead and run that, let's see what we got. We're running. Bam, see? Looks pretty, I mean, it might be a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same. See that? So once again, storyboards are your friend, or else you have to start writing all kinds of code, and then, you know, things get complicated when you want to modify this stuff. But yeah. All right, so what's next? What do we have next? So we have our image. Let's go ahead and add that image in there. I don't know why I keep doing it like that. Okay, so we're just going to run through the image, doing all the same thing. Let my image equal UI image. And you'll notice that, or actually it's a UI image view, because it's the actual view that holds the image. So we have to do image view. And you'll notice that I'm initializing each of these with the frame, but I didn't do that for UI view. And the reason for that is because I found out that if you try to initialize the view with a frame, even though I think it allows you, sometimes it crashes. It's kind of weird. I'm not really sure why it does that, but sometimes it does. So just be aware of that. So let's go ahead and make our rect. Yes, autocomplete for the win. Alright, so this one we can set to 0 because we're going to modify the X. We're going to center it again. So whenever we're going to modify the one of the origins that we set in our rect, we can just set it to 0, since it's not really going to matter. The Y, I want to do a little bit lower than the nav view. So what I'll do is nav view dot frame dot height, and then let's just say I want it, you know, I don't know, 40 pixels from the top or something like that. The width, I'll just set it to 120. Sounds like a good number. I just made that out of thin air. Doesn't mean anything special. So now I have my image. I should call it my image view, just to specify that it's not an actual image. Alright, so remember we have to set the center. So my image view dot center dot x is equal to, this time I'm just going to do the actual view, the entire view that we can see, dot center dot x. Alright. We also want to specify the image, so let's go ahead and pass in an image. My image view dot the actual image is equal to test image right here. All right. I still can't get over the fact that you could just type in test image right here. It'll pull it from your assets and then put it in there, and it'll work like nothing ever happened. That is just amazing. I think it's so super awesome. It didn't used to be like that, but yeah, can't get over myself. Yeah. All right. And then remember that I said that when I put this image in here, it looked kind of stretched. So let's make sure that we have the scaling to be aspect fill. Whoa, where are you going? All right, my image view dot forgot exactly what it was called. Is it image alignment rect insect? Honestly, I don't remember what it was. It's been a while since I've done it like this. What is it? Dot scale? No. Side. Oh, what is it? Man, I forgot this too. As you might be able to tell, I don't usually work programmatically. Oh, content mode, that's what it was called. Dot content mode is equal to dot scale aspect. Let's just do fill. It's a square, it doesn't really matter. Let's just make sure that it fills up the entire width and height of our image view, and make sure that it's all proportional. If I did aspect fit, then if you had like a very narrow image, like you took it with your iPhone or something like that, and horizontal like a horizontal picture, and it was like really long like that, then it would fit the entire picture in there, but you would have space in the bottom and space on the top. So yeah, I just like to do fill. It's usually the best one to go with. Anyway, I think we have everything in there that we need to, so we're just going to add this image to the view because it needs to be on the main view, not part of the actual nav view or the label or anything like that. So view.add subview my image view. Yay, yay. Let's get going. Let's get it going. We're already almost there. There we go. See that? Bam. It's coming together slowly but surely. All right, so let's do the email field, and this is of type UITextField. Frame CG rect, you know it. I should have let it autocomplete. Oh well. Frame 0 y is my image view dot frame dot height, or no that doesn't work properly. So we'll do frame dot max y. This will get me the very bottom of my image view, and we're going to do plus let's say 30 because we want it to be a little bit closer, right? Something like that. And then the width will be the screen size dot width, and we're gonna take off some we want to add some padding on both sides, some padding right here, right? And they're, if you notice, they're 16 pixels in between. So if we want 16 pixels on both sides, we have to subtract 32, which is 16 plus 16 from the entire width of the screen, and that will be the width of our email field. See how crazy it's starting to get? Now you have to know math and stuff. This isn't fun. All right, and then height, we'll just say 35. or 30. I think 30 might be the default. All right, so now we have our email field. Remember that we have email field has a placeholder, so we want to specify the placeholder, and that's going to just say email. We could do all kinds of different stuff. We can change the email like keyboard if we wanted. .keyboard type, and we could just set it to .email address, and that will make sure that our email comes, like it'll give you the little @ sign in the bottom right. We could do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, but we're just focusing on visual stuff. And I think that is all we really need to do. I'm not doing anything fancy with it, so let's just add it to our view. Add subview dot our email field. There we go. Right? Yeah, that works. Xcode says it doesn't work. Email field, add view, subview. Stupid Xcode doesn't know what it's talking about. All right, and instead of going through, we'll just go through it. Who cares? Password field is equal to UITextField frame CG rect. This time I'm doing autocomplete. It's just faster. Oh, you know what? I have to change this to 16 because it's 16 from the left, remember? Same thing with this one. 16 from the left. The Y is going to be email field dot frame dot max Y, and let's just put it less spacing. It's going to be 20, and then the width is going to be the same thing as the other one, so it's going to be screen size dot width minus 32 because they're both the same size. We want 16 pixels from the left and the right, so we have to subtract the total from the actual email field, and then the height will also be 30. Good. All right, and then password field. Am I missing? Yep, I'm missing a parentheses right there. Password field and placeholder is equal to password. And since we modified the keyboard for the email field, we won't do that for the password field because it just needs a normal password. But what we can do is we can do password, just to make it a little bit fancier, security is secure text entry right there, and we'll set that to true. That's just going to make it the little black dots that appear when you are typing in so that nobody can see what you're typing, even though it shows that little letter when you're actually typing on a device, but whatever. And then we're going to add that. Add subview password field. All right, we're going to go ahead and run that. Get it going. I still love this. The fact that you could just put an image in there like that, that is so cool to me. Xcode is probably one of the best IDEs ever. All right, so if you notice, the keyboard didn't come out. This is another thing you have to worry about if you don't put it on a scroll view, but we're not going to do that today. So notice that the email field actually has that little @ symbol. It's not a normal keyboard, it's a little bit different. And then if I go to password, I'm just doing Command K to make these things go away. So if I do F, see how it does that. But since we didn't do that on the email, if I just do that, so that's what is secure text entry. Now notice that it doesn't have any styles. I forgot that UITextFields don't actually come with styles, so we have to add a style to both of them. So email, and you could just add this in anywhere. It could have been an email field. It could have been towards the top. As long as it's after you initialize it, it doesn't matter where you add it. So style, border style, and we're just going to say dot rounded rect. And we'll just copy this code right here. Say password field. Too many dots. That's why you're not supposed to copy and paste, but I do it anyway. Alright, and if this works, then we should have the default text field look to it. See that? Yeah, there we go. Now it looks as expected. Last thing that we need to add is the button. I'll actually show you how to add it and how to allow it to have actions in it. So have this on button tapped, right? And then we'll print programmatically made button. Yay. Cool. All right. So that's going to be printed out every time we tap our button, but we haven't made the button yet. So let's go ahead and make the button. Let button equal UIButton. And we're going to initialize this with a frame just like everything else. Let autocomplete make my life a whole lot easier. We're going to center this so we can set it to 0. The Y we still have to set, so we want it to be a little bit further down the screen from the password field. So we'll pass in password field dot frame dot max Y, and then we'll do plus, like, let's just say 40, whatever. The width, I know that we made the button pretty long, so I'll just say 100. Height, we'll just say 70. It's kind of what I think it looked like. I don't know exactly. There we go. Button. Remember that we have a background color. And what color was that? I'm gonna just set it to blue. I'm gonna just set it to the standard purple, guys. Dot purple. That'll work. Button dot title. Oh, you know what? Oh, let's see. We have to set the title, and the title was login, all caps. And for control state, we want to do touch. No. For control state is going to be just what was it? Default? I thought it used to be default. Guess normal. Set title for normal. And that just means that it's going to be this title normally. Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty straightforward. It's Swift. Come on, guys. You know how to read. And then set title color, and we're gonna do dot white, and for control dot normal. Alrighty, now we actually get to the point. Oh, shut up, Xcode. You don't know what you're talking about. Now we get to the point to where we can actually start calling this. So right now, like if we were to press it, even if we added it to the view and everything, it wouldn't know to call this function. So we have to add a target, and this will be our target. And I'll show you how to do that. So button dot add target. We're just gonna select this one, any target, self. Selector, you have to do hash and then type in selector, all lowercase, parentheses, and then type in the actual function that you want to call. Since this is not taking any arguments, then I could just pass in this word on button tapped. If it did take some type of arguments, I would have to do it a little bit differently. So let me show you how to do that. I'll do it both ways. Watch. On button tapped. Right, and that'll work. And we want to set UI control events for dot touch up inside. And touch up inside means that you actually push down. You don't, when you push down on the button, and then you actually don't like move your finger anywhere from it. You just go back up. So down and up, there's no other actual movements. There's no dragging or anything like that. Oh, and I was going to show you if we're going to take an argument. So let's just say sender, right? Because that's usually what it'll make is a sender, and it takes a UI button just to say, oh, it was sent by a UI button. So now this is gonna have to be a little bit different, and you have to do underscore colon like this, unless Swift 3 changed that, which it may have done that. Oh yeah, see, you didn't used to have to do that. If I do it like this, you won't have to do that. There we go. Should work as I said. Should work like how I told you to do it. There we go. And that's just because the way that we name parameters now in Swift 3 is a little bit different. But yeah, if you don't give it a name like with sender, this should still work, but maybe not. Maybe they changed it up all kinds of ways. So let's see what Xcode wants to do, because I'm learning this too. And while I'm waiting for Xcode to wake up, let me just add this button to the view. Button or view dot add subview. Button. Come on, wake up, Xcode. Oh, you don't even have to do it no more. That's cool. All right. Well, I was wrong. Learn something new every day. All right. So I guess you don't have to pass anything in there if the buttons or if the function's named properly. That's pretty cool. Cool. So now everything's in there. I have the background color. I have the title. I have the title color. I have the target. Actually, it's not centered. So let's go ahead and do that. X. Remember to do the X, or else you're going to be centering the entire thing. So view dot center dot X. All right. I think that's going to do it. Such a long tutorial for something so simple, but like I said, I'm pretty thorough. I'm thorough, and I'm not in a rush. If you guys want to watch something in depth, then you came to the right place. If you don't, then you're definitely not here. Oh, see, look, I clicked on it. I'm clicking on it. Tap. Oh, well, let's go ahead and clear this out so that you can see that I'm actually tapping. So I'm about to tap. See? Tap, tap, tap. Now if I click down, hold, and drag, oh, well, it's not supposed to work. But simulator's a little bit weird sometimes. So let's see. Click down, and then I drag. Oh yeah, see? So if I click down, hold, and drag, it won't do it. But if I just click down and bring my finger back up, it will work. All right, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you could do other things, like change the corner radius, and I don't really want to get into that too much. I'll just show you how to do it real quick, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can do programmatically, but look at how much code that you have to write just to get it going. I'm already at, 60 lines of code just to get this in? Oh, come on. 67 lines of code just to get almost everything the same way. Look at, and none of this is even necessary. This is whatever. You don't even need that. So you end up with essentially the same exact result, and using storyboards is way easier. Look at, and then you end up with storyboards like this that are completely blank. You can't even see what's going on it. You have to go in here into the code. Come on. You have to go in here in the code, and then you have to read it, and then you have to be able to understand it. My goodness. Look at them trying to get to me. It's all from the same school. Alrighty. So that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do, guys. Well, I highly recommend that you use Storyboards. It's a pretty powerful tool. It'll save you a lot of time. I mean, I knocked out the storyboard version of this in, I don't know, you guys tell me, 5 minutes? 5 to 8 minutes. And then I have to go through this, and you guys been watching this tutorial for over like 40 minutes just trying to understand how all this works. I don't recommend doing stuff programmatically. So, yep, that's how you do things programmatically. If you do want this, project, I will make sure that I can put it up there for you in the GitHub. So let's go ahead and go to GitHub. It's part of the ritual. And make sure, like, if you've learned anything from this tutorial, even though I've been like bad mouthing programmatic stuff, give me a like or something. Layout programmatically. This is the code from my layout from programmatic layout tutorial. Alright, read me, sure, why not? Alrighty then. Let's get over here in the terminal. Change directory to my desktop. And then we're going to be in KL Learning, because that's where I be teaching y'all. And then, what did I call this? Layout programmatically. So, and then get init, bam. Get remote add origin, bam. Get pull origin master. There we go. Then we get add all, get commit, finished the tutorial. Thank God. Get push origin master. See how easy it is to do git? You guys should definitely be doing git. So simple. If you've been watching my videos, then you know it's simple, because I always type in like the same exact things every time. You only need to know like 10 commands and you're a professional git person. So yeah, so it's up here. Let's go ahead and refresh that. Double check. Yeah, bam. Look at that Xcode project. You could go in there, steal all my ideas, and become rich and famous. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then feel free to leave me a like, drop a comment, hit me up on Twitter. But mainly the likes, retweets maybe or whatever. It always makes me feel really good when somebody likes my content or gives me a thumbs up or whatever it is. But yeah, this has been Kyle Lee, aka Kilo Loco, and I am signing out.